Crap Celebrities Part 2, Edward Norton. Now, the first time I crossed paths with Edward Norton was at Nick Cage's 40th birthday party. And it's the cocktail hour before the dinner, and we're all milling around having drinks. And I hear the usual girls shrieking, and it's my friend Helena, who I brought as my guest, and Salma Hayek, and they're old friends. So they're like, "Oh my God, so good to see you. Let's sit together." So we all sit down at a table together and prepare to get our dinner. So we sit down for dinner, and Edward Norton is completely unengaged. He's just looking at his plate and scowling. And Salma and Helena were great. And they're like, "Scott, take our picture." So I lift my camera up, and Ed Norton goes, "Do not take my picture." And I was like, "Nobody wants to take your picture, dude. I'm taking it of them." And here's the picture. So maybe 30 minutes into the meal, Edward stands and says hi to someone that he knows. And Selma says, "I am so sorry for Edward. He is just a brilliant and sensitive artist." And I said, "Selma, look around the room. Everybody here is a brilliant and sensitive artist. This guy's just an a-hole, and you can do better." And boy, did she do better. Salma Hayek's husband, Francois Henri Pinault, is a billionaire businessman and philanthropist who's done a lot of good through his company, Caring, and personal initiatives. He donated $100 million to rebuild Notre Dame. He supports women's rights. He's reforested hundreds of thousands of acres. His brands like Gucci, Balenciaga, and Saint Laurent are 100% sustainable and reduce their carbon footprints. Now, the second altercation with Edward Norton was at the Playboy Mansion. And me and a group of friends decided to go into the grotto. You can study it, read about it. And he was in there with Courtney Love. And he says, "Get the F out of here." So I didn't want to get thrown out of there, so we just left. But I was just like, what a dick. The third time I had a scrape with this guy was when they made a 70 millimeter new print of my favorite movie of all time, Lawrence of Arabia, and they were showing it at the Egyptian Theater. And I love this movie so much that I got there 3 hours before doors because I wanted the best seat in the house. So nothing was taped off. There were no reserved signs. And me and my friend Parker went there, and I picked a particular row and a particular set of seats, and we sat down. And then as the movie's starting, someone comes over and says, "You're going to have to move." And I said, "The hell I am. I was the first one in here." So Edward Norton here is a patron that helped pay for the restoration. And I said, "Then you should have marked the seats off. I'm not moving." And they said, you have to move." And I said, "No, move somebody else. I was the first one in here." And now my friend is getting uncomfortable. He's like, "Let's just go." And I'm like, "There's nowhere to go. Every seat's full. We're not going. Do not get up." And my friend got up, and we had to get out. And I end up in the aisle, and I'm like, "You listen to me, you mother effer. I was the first one here, you selfish prick." And as happy as I was to help Leonardo DiCaprio get the role of Howard Hughes in The Aviator, which is in my book, The Big Book of Bad Decisions, I was equally happy to kill Edward Norton's Howard Hughes project with Milos Forman. So